Greetings, everybody. Hope you're having a happy Monday, yeah? A happy day. They were in a bad group, were they? Hope you're having a happy Monday. It's 10 o'clock. It's the start of my regular live streams on this channel. Well, I know we've done regular live streams before, but this time, more than any other time, it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I'd like to do four streams in a row, but I think that'll be a bit much for anyone. Okay, so good evening, Ty Belly Boy. Good evening, Brian Street. Good evening, Kiki and Jasmine on the Trail of Love. Bintman, nice to hear from you. Alan Edge, Ty Belly Boy. Yeah, we put that one on the screen. Ty Belly Boy. Hi Ed. I don't know, sorry, hi, I reckon that's on the Lamb's Navy rum, followed by a Melton Mo. No, there's going to be no more pies, no more pies. I'm still eating. Just let me tell you that in terms of the alcohol, right, I've already been through this, and I'll probably go through it again, but I've been drinking just a ridiculous, absolutely absurd amount of beer, And in the last week, it's almost, a full week since I arrived back home. I've managed to get it under control. When I came back in the early hours of Tuesday morning, I obviously was jet lagged from that long journey, and I had 9 bottles of Coors Light beer, 9. And within the first hour or so before going to bed, I had 3 of them. I had something to eat, and I had 3 bottles. And then the following evening, I was desperate for something. So I had another bottle of beer, just 1 bottle of beer. But that's all I've had. There's still 5 bottles. There's still 5 bottles of Coors Light in the fridge, and I've got no intention of touching them. I'm just going to leave them there as an emergency, in case, in the middle of the night, I start climbing walls and whatever. But no, I've been really good. I've managed to cut the beer out and the wine. I haven't had any wine either. So, yours travels. Nice to hear from you. Brian Street is on the wagon now. Not quite. Let's see. Humongous. That motorbike lift you got on Colan looked a bit precarious, but needs 6 or 7 Leos to persuade me to get on the back of one. Well, I trust those motorbike riders more than I trust myself, because they know what they're doing. At least I think they do anyway. Yours travels. Brian, he said he's on the spirits, but he's just cutting the beer. I've listen, in terms of calories, I was probably consuming well over 1,000 calories a day in beer alone. So cutting that out, I've almost totally obliterated the beer. I've got no desire to go back to it. It's a start anyway. It's a start. What I have been doing in the last week, I haven't lost my appetite. No, I haven't lost my appetite. I've been eating hard. In fact, I've really been. Before I go any further, let's just check. Is the sound okay? Is the sound all right, is it? Geez, there's a lot of people here, isn't there? There's a lot of people here. Okay, there's a lot of people here. Okay. So anyway, I think let's go back to what I was waffling on about. Yeah, I've certainly got my appetite. I've had some lovely meals this week. I've been cooking myself steaks, lasagna. I've been really enjoying my food. Also, the problem with cutting the beer, I've been consuming an awful lot of fruit. And if you want to lose weight, fruit obviously is very, very good for you, but it's also very, very sugary. So it'll be a progression to get fit, but at least I've cut the beer out anyway. Anyway, nice to hear from you there, Yoz. Capo 17, London Cab, Thailand. Brian Street. Brian Street's on the Carlin. Good for you, mate. Barry from EastEnders, good evening. Let's see, where are we? Seamus O'Doherty. Hi, Eddie, I'm on the Jameson. Good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you. Alan Ed, Swaddy crap, Eddie. Okay. Is that what you say? I do believe in fairies. Eduardo's going to be the next James Bond. I've got a few film reviews tonight anyway, including what happened to the last James Bond. He ended up in as some kind of Agatha Christie style detective. So there's a couple of film reviews coming up later. Got Yogi Bear, good evening. David Coleman, hi Eddie, what are we talking about tonight? What about the US banks fail? Well, that's US bank. Well, they haven't actually. They've been bailed out, haven't they? I mean, that particular one. What one was it? The Silicon Valley one. I think someone stepped in at the last minute and rescued. The last thing anyone needs is another 2008. I don't think anybody needs that. So I don't think it's panic stations just yet. Bryn Roberts, Dan Trevelaki, evening Eddie, nice to hear from you. Yeah, Yost Travels. Noting for me now till airport on the 30th of March. Okay, listen. I'm going to do a video. I'm going to release a video, and I'll probably release on this channel, this channel this week, about sort of my history with alcohol, and why people start drinking alcohol on a regular basis or even an obsessive basis. So I will be making a video of that later this week, and I'm going to pour my heart on whatever, and so get the Kleenex out for that one anyway. That's coming later in the week. David Merchant, hi Eddie, hope you're all well and thanks for all that you do. Thank you for that, mate. Cheers. Stephen Tutty, Gemini Star. Sean Young, good evening Eddie, look forward to more words of wisdom from your good self. Okay, fine. Thank you. Thanks for that. Well, what's that? Repair shop. What happened to Simon Zeus from Labs of Smiles? He and his wife deactivated their Facebook. Did they? Are you talking about? I don't know him personally. I've never had any contact with him. But Simon Land of Smiles, is that? I presume that's who you're talking about. He suffered badly during the pandemic, didn't he? And he came back to England. And he started work, didn't he? Him and his wife, and they've been working since. Now, I don't know the guy personally, but I do like his channel a lot. I really do like Simon's channel a lot. I don't know what's happened to him, but hopefully he'll return to YouTube and Thailand quite soon because he was a good good vlogger, very good. Very good channel. So I hopefully Simon Land of Smiles will return pretty soon. David Coleman is just going after 6 p.m. in Toronto. Okay. So after 6 p.m. So you're only 4 hours behind us here. Really? Only 4 hours. It was more than that. Morning, Eddie. More here anyway. Wander at 299. Richard O. Good evening all. Michael DiCaprio couldn't get rid of her, Eddie. You're late, okay? Ian UK, nice to hear from you in UK. I met Ian in Cambodia, and we had a beer together. And him and his brother, and it was nice, good to meet him. She has a hairy muff. I do like the hairy stuff. You look so sexy. I reckon t-shirts should come off. I've actually got a what do we call it? It's what do they call it? Well, I'm wearing a what should be called it? A hoodie. That's what you call it anyway, because it's still quite cold. David Coleman, I don't really, I'm getting sick of Gary Lineker on the news all the time when there's other things happening in the world. But we've got to mention something about that later on, haven't we? AJ, good evening. I'd love it to have you safe and sound, mate. I see we've given loads of money to France again to stop illegal immigrants. I thought that's what Brexit was. Oh, it's a bloody farce. It's a farce. All of that talk about whether Brexit is success or not, we'll do that one of these nights. That is coming up soon. I mean, tonight, I'm going to, just get back into this normally, get into the routine. I think it'd be better when I get into the routine of doing these live streams regularly. Because as you know, we've got such a great, you guys, we really are a great little community. And what this channel needs, really, it does need some videos because a channel can't really grow through live streams. You do need videos. So I've got a few videos planned about certain issues. And hopefully, we can get, grow this channel a bit. Humongous. Cowardly BBC caved into Lineker. Would have been great opportunity to save license payers millions. Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about that in a minute. Let's talk about that because that's a serious issue. It's a farce, isn't it? It's a farce. Damon, nice to hear from you. Even Mr. Ed, have a great stream. It was lovely to meet you in Soy 7. Yeah, we did meet in Soy 7. So all the best regards. Yeah, nice to hear from you, Damon. I do remember you well. Nice to hear from you. Stephen Gamble. Yeah. David Coleman, we can't really repeat that comment here. Stuart Marsden, even that, just had the right touch. Booked the last minute flight today for 3 weeks' time for only 680 quid. Can't bloody wait to get on that plane. Direct with Eva too. Eva is a good airline. Good for you, mate, anyway. Okay, so let's see. Oh, yeah, here's me 20 stone white. Ed Sweeney's 20 stone white back in England. Good to have you back in England, Ed. Can't wait to knock you off. Oh, I bet you're drooling, aren't you? I bet you're slobbering at this very moment, you dirty bitch. Okay. Chubba Wubba. Eddie, I do not drink anymore either. However, I do not drink any less either. Well, let me just say, I can say at this point, I have actually knocked the beer on the head. I can actually say that now confidently. There's still 5 bottles in the fridge, and I haven't touched them, and I'm not planning on touching them. I'm just going to leave them there in case, like I said before, in all seriousness, I'm just going to leave them in the fridge in case I suddenly find a moment where, I need a beer. Yeah, I'm just going to leave them there for an emergency. Yeah, okay. So, but I can say at this point, I think I've knocked the beer on the head. I really have. The wine, I'm not bringing beer or wine, buying anymore, bringing it into this house. I'm not doing that. I have still got a bit of whiskey and rum, and what I've been doing, you may have seen a little short that I've done. I actually bought some diet Coca-Cola things, Coca-Cola and Schweppes, and I'm just going to have a little bit. You've got to drink something. You've got to, when you sit and watching a movie, you got to drink something. So this is a Diet Cola with a bit of whiskey in there. And that's very nice. That's actually tasty. That's tasty. Come on. When you, especially towards the end of the day, when you're sitting there watching a movie, if you're not drinking beer or any kind of alcohol, what are you drinking? You can't just bloody sit there with a bottle of water or a glass of water beside. You've got to have something. So this is okay. Usually I'll drink whiskey straight or just one ice cube, but this is okay. This is going down quite nicely. I'll say at this stage, a week after I come home, it's a massive reduction in the alcohol, so it's a start anyway. Seamus Doherty, my friend has booked flights to Colombia. It could be my destination too. Colombia's a beautiful country. They're a very, very beautiful race of people as well. Very friendly people, the Colombians. S Travels 4K. Who's got a great channel? Who's got and someone said, why do you always promote? Because he's cool. I was watching one of his videos last night about Rome, where he's wandering around Rome with the Trevi Fountain and all those glamorous Italian people. Wonderful. Monday evening, what's better than tune into Ed's live stream? Okay, thanks for that, mate. Thanks for that. He's got to check him out. S Travels 4K does the best walk around videos in a variety of places. So check him out, please. Bintman, hey Ed, I booked a fly with Eva Air, and now you have to pay for seat selection of 42 quid each way. I've used them before and never had to do this. What series did you end up on this? Well, I tell you what, when coming back from Thailand last week, there was a big queue. There was a big queue at the airport, and my flight was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and so. It's a good job that I got there nice and early because there was a big, lengthy queue at the airport. And whenever I get to I didn't check in online or nothing like that. When, because I still prefer to do it the old-fashioned way. When I got to the counter eventually, the very, very first thing that I said to the people, can I have an aisle seat? And they said, eventually come back. We can't give you an aisle seat, but we'll put you on standby for one. Well, I didn't get an aisle seat, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, flights are like a nasty ordeal for me. They're just boring. I just want the whole thing over and done with. So, but it was a nice little Thai lady sitting on the aisle seat, and it was cool. It was all right. And flights are never very good. I don't like sitting in the middle of people, but it's luck, really. But I couldn't get an aisle seat on this occasion. But quite often I can get an aisle seat because the fact is, I tend to drink so much that, if I want to get up for a pay, I don't want to be moving other people out the way, But what was the question again? No, I've never had to pay seat selection, but I've never had to pay. It depends. I suppose it depends what company you book it through. Richard, though, you've been looking at getting into work yet? Got it under review. Ian UK. Ed, why quit drinking when you're so bloody good at doing it? Massive amount of calories. And I'll tell you what, if there's 3 words, more than any other 3 words, that are causing me to quit drinking, it's those horrible words, fatty liver disease. If you Google fatty liver disease or YouTube it, you see a lot of. It's a horrible phrase. They'll describe what it means and everything. It's bloody horrible, And the actual beer. I mean, one of the things that convinced me to give up beer is because recently in Thailand, there's only one beer that I like out there, and that's Heineken. And in a lot of places you can't get that, or it's more expensive, but the actual Thai beers, Leo, Singer, Chang, I just don't like them, and it's just the meaningless of it. I'm going to make a video of this week, so there will be a video coming out about my history of drinking, and it just comes to an end. It's got to come to an end. Travel's all good. Yeah, Englishman in Malta. Greetings from Malta. Having a nice glass of red, beautiful, even on the terrace. That's good for you, mate. Good for you. Richard O. Any Netflix movies you like? There's a couple of reviews coming up later. Paul Hoskin, nice to hear from you. 10 beer bottles sitting in the fridge, 10 beer bottles in the fridge, and 1 beer bottle you don't do that. You're a bloody mathematician, you are. Nice to hear from you. Okay, so let's just skip through a bit because there's quite a lot of people there. Yeah, Kippo Machmach. Long summer without the beers, EDDY. If you go back many years, I'm doing a video this week. There will be a video explaining, my attitude towards alcohol and how I started drinking every day and everything. There will be, I'll skip that one. There will be a video coming out this week. Let's see. Repair shop. We didn't get Brexit. It doesn't look like it to me. I mean, the bloody pound's weakened. We got more foreigners coming into the country than we ever had before. Europe's still telling us what to do. It doesn't look like it to me. Ricardo, Simon Landis-Mouse is involved. Oh, really, Ricardo? Simon Landis-Mouse is involved in a nasty car crash last year. He's okay, but undergoing a lot of physio. Really, really. His mother is currently very ill, so he's taking some time away from social media. Oh, well, I wish him the best of luck anyway. He always seemed to me to be one of the more genuine guys on YouTube. And I did watch him a lot. I did watch him quite a lot. Oh, well, best of luck to him anyway. Let's see. Paul Hoskin, Gary Lineker likes salt and vinegar. Yeah, I thought we should all boycott Walker's crisps. David Cobus, let's talk about the damn Russians taking it. Are they? I was in Phuket and I thought it was all right. The Russians didn't bother me. They didn't bother me. Nobody bothered me in Phuket. Nobody bothered me in Phuket. Andrew McIver. Oh man, he's going to start a rant on migrants. Really poor format. You're entitled to your opinion, mate. Brian Street. I can't mention that name of old silvery platform boots. I can't mention that name on here. Andrew McIver again. Okay, Seamus Doherty. Let me see. Okay, some people still need. David Coleman. Some people on here still do not get it. These people are illegal aliens, and of stuff. Yeah, they are illegal aliens. Yeah, I don't want to go too much because I've already said a fair bit about that. And people tend to get overheated, and it's and sooner or later, bloody YouTube will probably step in and say, "Hey, you can't say stuff like that." There's lots of things. There are lots and lots of things, big questions and whatever, that we can do on these live streams. Just getting back into it for the moment. And one of the things that I need to get bloody sorted out is a proper green screen. Yeah, no, here's a good little one. Beans and Brews Drunk Threats Archive. What kind of name is that? Diet Coca-Cola. It doesn't taste like Coca-Cola. I don't necessarily want it to taste like Coca-Cola. There's this balmy thing which I just don't get it. I don't get it, right? And I think it was the 1980s, it may have even been the 1970s. Then all of a sudden, some bright spark came out with Diet Coke. Whereas before, Coca-Cola's been around for a long time. Somebody decided that, it will appeal to more people if you bring out a diet version of it without the sugar. We will probably use sweeteners, but without the sugar. And the idea is that you can still enjoy a Coca-Cola without having any of the calories. Wonderful idea. And of course, it's taken off. And maybe there's a bit of difference in the taste, but not that much. But the idea, Diet Cola has been around for about 40 years or something like that, and people have been drinking it. You can drink Coca-Cola without having the calories, okay? Now, in recent years, there's been a report, hasn't there, that you're shooting yourself in the foot drinking Diet Cola because you drink the Diet Cola without any, without any sugar. But, and this is where it gets banal, I just don't get it. I don't accept this at all. This is where you drink Diet Cola without the sugar, but the body gets confused because you drink this cola and then the body thinks, wait a minute, where's the sugar? I want the sugar. Where's the sugar? You're fooling me here. And then the body takes it out on you by then demanding sugar elsewhere. So you drink Diet Cola and the end result is that you've got to eat more sugary foods or drink more sugary drinks afterwards. There's an argument, a theory, something like, and I just think it's banal. I've heard it. I've even heard some experts coming out with this, and I think it's a load of codswallop. I really, really do. Diet Cola does not make me want to eat more sugary foods. I just think it's bollocks, basically. What do you think about that? Tan the Man, UK is cute. Yeah, David R. Are you going to beat me at 2 stone in 60 days? David R. who's been on this channel or the other channel. He's lost, and he didn't mean to lose the weight as much as I did, but he lost 2 stone in 2 months, and that is absolutely magnificent. David, so well done, and he's going out to Thailand again soon. Good luck to you, mate. I'm not in a race. I'm just, to begin with, I do need to lose weight, and I need to get rid of this belly. It would be nice to get rid of this belly, but I'm not in a rush. I'm prepared to do it. Even if I did it, 1 pound a week for the rest of the year, that's about 2.5 stone. That's a lot of weight. Well, how many weeks left to go in a year? That's a lot of weight. That might even be the best part of 3 stone. If I do losing 1 pound a week, that'd do me. But well done anyway, David. Yeah, let's see. Okay. David Coleman, gold is going up and up now. I made some. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. David R., my trip is approaching fast. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Let's see. Yours travel, 680 quid was a cracking price for that price. Mine cost 1200. I was searching for weeks on Skyscanner, deleted cookies and used incognito. My flying with Etihad, they go Middle East, don't they? I've never been. I've been on Emirates. 1200, sounds a lot. If that's economy, if it's economy, it sounds a lot, really. Barry from EastEnders. Told you Bangkok airport's a mess, huge queues. I don't really know why. I mean, it's all of a sudden it just those. It was all right. I mean, I arrived at Bangkok airport early November and I left early March, and all of a sudden the queues are coming out. And I don't know. We're living in very, very strange times now. Things are happening, and nobody really knows the reasons for it. David Coleman, the UK is finished. Read the lockdown files. Oh, no, the UK will always spring back. People said in the late 70s, during the winter of discontent, that the UK was finished. They said that during the 1970s, you had rock stars and celebrities, actors leaving Britain in their droves because of the tax system. They weren't earning any money. They said it was finished. Then we had the winter of discontent. We had strikes. The UK, and then we had that bloody woman came along in 1979, and even though she was a real cow, she was ruthless. All of a sudden, Britain's, well, not of a sudden, but after a few years, Britain started getting its act together again. So Britain's not finished. Mark Oleg, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear. Hope all's well. Mark's in Minnesota in a winter wonderland. That's what I'd call it, a winter wonderland. I'd love to see snow. We don't get snow where I live. All we get is cold rain. But I'd love to see snow, but I don't know if I can put up with it all the time. Nice to hear from you, Mark. Anyway, hope all's well. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, beans and bruised drunk. When I fly, I usually take two seats. Well, you probably need the diet more than I do then, don't you? Yeah, here we go. Sean Harris, be careful with the aspartame in those sugar-free drinks. It might be the BS, but some scientists think it's not good for you to have too much. I don't know. You've got a bloody diet or something, haven't you? Let's see. There's a lot of calories in that yet. What have we been through there? Okay, so anyway, here we go. I just put this comment on it. Oh, it takes all bloody. It takes all kinds of it to make a world. Repair shop. That's not Ozzy Osbourne, is it? By any chance, he's saying that? Repair shop. I had my tools stolen by Romanians. I've given my tools to a few Romanians, believe me, and they're very, very nice. Okay. Seamus Doherty, the Vietnamese and Cambodian beers are nicer. Now, I can't remember the Vietnamese beer because I drank Heineken in Vietnam. But Cambodian beer is actually nicer than the Thai one. You get it in draft form and it's smoother. The Angkor, yeah, it's nice. It's nicer than it. I just don't like those Thai beers. Don't like them. Ugh. Anyway. Stephen Foster, Bali banned tourists from riding motorbikes today. So Thailand does the same thing. Really? How could you bloody ban tourists from riding motorbikes? Well, whatever. I won't even go there. David Coleman, all the Romanians in Toronto. I can't comment on that. The Romanians in Toronto are all but they're not stupid, then. Let's see. Yours travels. I'm staying 6 weeks in Krabi, Ao Nang, and girlfriend said there's been a huge influx of Russians in Krabi and Phuket. Well, they're staying cheerful before Armageddon comes along, aren't they? Yeah, I mean, they got nothing to lose, have they, basically? So good for them. Oh, hi, Ed. How's it feel to be back in Blighty? Asda deliveries back on. Have I got a picture? Have I got a picture of Asda? Yeah, have I got a picture of Asda? Have I? Have I? Have I got a picture of Asda? No, I haven't got a picture of Asda. No, no, no. Okay. I've got one word to say about Asda. Bastards. I'm done with them. I am done with them. They owe me a jar of coffee. They owe me. I mean, as well as not delivering all this stuff, they didn't deliver any flavored water. Absolutely none. Lots of other stuff they didn't deliver. They still owe me a jar. I was told that a lot of the stuff that they didn't have, so they're going to refund me money. But they didn't list the coffee as something that they hadn't got. A £6.25. 200-gram jar of Kenco coffee, was missing. I messaged them about it. They haven't got back to me. Bastards, that to Asda. I'm done with them. And one of the reasons that I was using Asda was because I was drinking a colossal amount of, beer, and they seem to be giving the best deal. Oh, bollocks! I'm done with Asda. Never anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore. Anyway, Capo 17. I'm going to France for the holidays. Surely there won't be anybody left there. France is a wonderful country. France is a wonderful country. There'll be loads of people in France. Let's see. Okay, David Coleman, 0 alcohol beer. Tastes like pee. I agree with you. I mean, it's either alcohol or it isn't. I mean, that zero out. My friend tried that. He tried not zero alcohol, alcohol, low calorie. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You quickly get tired of it. Tinks 1463. Is everyone afraid of the like button? Okay, press the like button, chaps. Come on, it's free and it's a thumbs up and it helps push the video out there. And YouTube might think, hey, but they're pressing the like button. So somebody out there actually likes this guy. Thanks for that, anyway, mate. Okay, let me see. Seamus Doherty, have you ever watched Breaking Bad? Yeah, I watched it. I watched all 8, I believe it was 8 series. Excellent. Very, very excellent. Very, very slow moving. It run like a soap opera. But I would watch that again. But, it's 8 series. When the time's right, I'll watch that again. Bloody good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Okay, Thai Billy Boy. My mate has just returned from Goa, India after a few months. He said even the menus are Russian and the beach sellers are also speaking Russian. Well, what's happened? The Russians were in Pattaya a lot about, maybe about 7 years ago, something like that. And then I turned up at Pattaya one year, and a lot of the menus were in Russian then. But I think a lot of them went to Vietnam, didn't they? A lot of they went to Vietnam. I mean, that place. I mean, and the Trang was tipped to be the next, Pattaya at one stage, but then it was just overtaken by Russians. David Coleman, if you smile at anybody in Russia, they think you're crazy. Okay, fair enough. Okay, it is a comment here. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. Daniel Mills, at least Russia keeps traditional values, sick, woke Western countries. Yeah, we'll talk about that sometime. Not about Russians, but about woke. That's it. I'm just going to skip through this. David Coleman, cheapest flight in Toronto to Bangkok was 1850 Canadian return. That's it. That doesn't sound that bad, really. Because Canadian obviously is not it's not a strong currency, really, is it? David Coleman, drag queen story for children in the UK, and they call this normal. Oh my God. Oh my God, drag. You see, we need to talk about stuff like this, but everything's so politically correct. There's always some bastard out there that'll say, unpolitically correct. You slag down drag queens. Oh, Jesus Christ Almighty! I mean, drag queens. When I was a kid, we watched Danny LaRue, and this was years before them. Batting for the other side. I mean, anyone who batted for the other side kept it quiet, no matter who they were, especially if they were a celebrity, because it would have ruined their career. But it was clear that, Danny LaRue. Do you remember Danny LaRue? Danny LaRue was dressed up as a woman, and it was funny. And this goes back in, donkey's years, 60s, 50s, whatever. Danny LaRue, it was obviously, what he was. I mean, but Danny LaRue was no macho man, drinking pints with the lads and whatever. It was clear what he was. He's a drag queen, but people loved Danny LaRue. There was also a comedian called Stanley Baxter. Stanley Baxter, and he often liked dressing up as a woman. And obviously, then there was Larry Grayson and all that. Nobody really bothered, even though it wasn't. It was clear, clear with these people, Liberace. He clearly wasn't a red-blooded, whatever was he? And these people were always around for years. No one seemed to worry about them. But now, I think when you haven't dragged queens for children, I think that's a different kettle of fish. It's just gone balmy. It has. Okay, Damon. Ed, it's always raining in Pensilva, Cornwall. Is that where you are? Is that where you are, Damon? Cornwall. I've only ever been to Cornwall a couple of times. It was lovely, beautiful place. I keep meaning to go again, but I think it's got very, very expensive. Yeah, humongous 7.2 magnitude earthquake reported in the Gambia. Lisa Dale slipped in a bottle of lube. like it. Okay, here we go. Gaz77. Hi, Eddie. I went to Asda, wear a pink dress and a blonde wig and got my shopping for free. I also shoved poo in the ice cream freezer. Yeah, good for you. Asda are bastards. We don't want Asda. We don't want any more Asda. I'm not having any more Asda. Seamus Doherty. It's been raining in Ireland the last 2 days. Okay. Good for you, mate, anyway. Alistair Taylor, nice to hear from you. Just joined the chat. Great to see you, and hello to all of us. Okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Nice to hear from you, Alistair. Yeah, let's see. Okay, let me see now. Okay, let's just go through this, and then we'll think of something to talk about. Street Life. Let's see. Street Life Asia. That's Ben. I've met him. I was in Cambodia. Street Life Asia. Is it Ben Newton? Okay. Hello. I hope you're doing all right there. Anyway, Ben. Kipo Makhma used to love drinking the 5-star bar on Beach Road, looking at the Russian ladies walking by. I'm not being funny. I mean, people, the women from Eastern Europe that were beautiful, absolutely beautiful, some beautiful women. But I've never been to Russia, but I've seen some of the Russian women in Pattaya. Jesus, they look like bloody cutthroats. They look. Oh, Jesus Christ, they're not really. They don't look hot. They look more like look more like cutthroats to me. Kiki and Jasmine would say the love. Russian women are very hot. Well, I haven't seen those ones. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, Yogi Bear. Yeah, Dame Edna was another one. Yeah, there were loads of camp and drag, comedians around many, many years ago. Nobody seemed to bother about it, really. But I think, and this was in the days before batting for the other side. It became trendy, but it's really. But I mean, the current drag queen stuff about bloody teaching children. That's just bloody perverted. That is. Yeah, Gaz. Yeah, comment of the night. Gaz77, I like hairy Fanny. Good for you, mate. So do you. Yeah, okay. So I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to do banners. So what can we do? What question can we do tonight? Bear in mind, I'm only getting back into this. But I said that we're not gonna talk about Gary Lineker, because every time I switch the news, I'm gonna make about this bloody pillock, this rich privileged pillock. About we've already talked about all of this kind of rubbish, but but the serious implication is to how about this? Let's see. Okay, so there you go. Let's just talk about this. What do we think of this? Is it sounded that's the BBC license? Well, what do you think of that one? Bearing in mind, on this particular day, the BBC has apologised to Gary Lineker for being, a total lefty and opening his mouth when he should have kept it shut. And it's all become an absolute bloody farce. And should we just ditch the BBC license? I mean, is the BBC of any value anymore? Really? I mean, it's all just become a farce, hasn't it? Hey, now, I know it's not your main channel. I just wanted to thank you for all your vids, lives of your last trip. Okay, thanks for that, mate. Anyway, thanks for that. Yeah, Brian, thanks for that, mate. Hey, now, I appreciate that. Brian Street, yes. Yeah, okay, good for you, mate. Straight to the point. Seamus Doctor, yes, even in Ireland, people are sick of the BBC. Absolutely. Yours travels. I don't pay it. I don't watch TV channels. Yeah, good for you. I don't watch TV channels. I don't watch the BBC. I'll tell you what. Let's see. Terry Jones says, "Yeah, ditch it. I can't believe still be." What it is, you're forced to pay in it. If you're watching live television, if you're watching, what I've never ever understood, I never understood this as a kid. You pay for the BBC through a license fee, whether you like it or not. But if you watch ITV, which is supposed to be paid for by advertising, and you haven't got a license, you can still get done. And I never understood that bit, really. Ty Billy Boy, yeah, yes. Yeah, you monks, 100%. Get rid of pros, all shite, smug all over paid presenters, okay. Wayne Kate, yes, everyone should stop buying a license now. Kippo Macrax, old ladies go to prison for not paying the license fee. Now that's 90. Yeah, absolutely. Alfonso Poo Farty, Eddie and alcohol, you have to admit it. All right then, if you say so. Stephen Gamble, we shouldn't be forced to pay for the BB. Well, whatever. So David Coleman, BBC left-wing propaganda, same as CBC in Canada. It's terrible. Get rid of them. Okay. Paul Hoskins says David Attenborough programs are great. Now, this is an important comment, really, because I mean, I was brought up with the BBC. When I was a kid, we only had 3 channels. We had BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV. When I switched the radio on, I listened to BBC Radio One, occasionally Radio Two. So the BBC was always with us. And the BBC was wonderful. And people paid the license then simply because the BBC was what you had. The only alternative was the free channel ITV, which was good, but it had adverts. The BBC brought us some wonderful entertainment in its day. You think about it, all the great BBC programmes, the classics, Fawlty Towers, Only Fools and Horses, all the great BBC shows. That we had in those days, even pros like Colditz and stuff like that. Wonderful BBC shows, and the Two Ronnies. There was something about the olden days where you felt, even though I was a kid, I didn't pay the license in those days because I was a kid, but you felt that it was worth it because it was the Two Ronnies, wonderful. Fawlty Towers, Monty Python, wonderful. BBC shows and dramas and all those fabulous historical dramas. The BBC gave amazing entertainment. And you think about it, look at the sports nowadays. You had football, you had Wimbledon, stuff like that in those days, included in a license. But it's all become old hat. It's become old hat now because nowadays you've got Netflix, you've got You've got Amazon. You've got so many channels on YouTube. You can watch movies on YouTube. It's become old time. The idea that you can have a criminal record for not, or even go to prison for not paying your TV license. It's just totally absurd in this day and age. I don't even watch the BBC anymore. I don't watch it. Let's see. Stephen Sutty, I've lived in Spain for over 20 years. Here we don't have to pay a TV license. Okay. Yours travels. It's up to them to prove you what's the licensed channels now. I have a huge smart TV, but only use it for Prime, Netflix, and YouTube. Yeah, with you there, mate. Also, IPTV, wink. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, fine. Absolutely. I mean, do they still have those detective vans that come round to your house and knock on your door, or, in the middle of the night? Years ago they did it. They did it because I know of someone who worked in a police station as a clerk. And I heard that this person had to type warrants out in the middle of the night, to go and raid somebody's bloody house, because they were watching the late night television. It's that was going back a few years now. But it's all bloody bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. And like I said a moment ago, I could never understand how you had to have a TV license for watching ITV when ITV is supposedly paid for by the adverts. Ridiculous. Humongous. Nothing stopping Netflix or Amazon making Attenborough type nature shows going forward. BBC is the BBC's old hat. And one of the things that really, really, really put me off the BBC, it's become a bit of a farce. I mean, a few years back when I watched the BBC News, I was watching the BBC News, and all of a sudden it flashed on the screen, breaking news. Whenever you see that breaking news flash, you think, oh, something terrible's happened in the world. What's happened? Is there been an earthquake? Is some politician being shot dead? What's happened? So, I paid attention. What was this breaking news all of a sudden that I needed to know? And what the breaking news was, that Keith Harris, as in Keith Harrison Oval fame, had died. Keith Harris died, leaving awful as without an owner, and that was the breaking news. What a load of bloody claptrap! Breaking, how the hell can some bloody entertainer shoving his hand up a puppet? How can his death be breaking news, for Christ's sake? What a load of claptrap! Oh, that's the BBC for you nowadays. Yeah, Gaz77. I once had TV gone knocking on my door, so I answered the door wearing nothing but a man thong. The guy ran off. That was 3 years ago. Not being back since. Okay, don't blame him. Don't blame him. Let me see. Kippo Macba. But it was a climate change denier until the BBC told him to get in line, which he did. David Bellamy refused and got sacked by them. David, you had some wonderful characters in them days. David Attenborough. I mean, David Attenborough is a presenter. I mean, he fronts the show. I mean, he would be the first to say that he gets all the credit for it. I mean, the wonderful photography that was involved in all of that. All of those nature programs. Absolutely amazing. Oh. So, I mean, in the olden days, you probably did get value for your TV license, but it's old hat now. You get far better value, with other things, really. Chaz Brown, BBC isn't what it used to be. It's just another rubbish channel now. Woke and I don't even watch it. I don't watch it anymore. I don't listen to radio anymore. David Coleman, I like watching YouTube videos of those people tell the TV license people to sod off. Daniel Mills, you even need a license to watch the stream officially. No, I don't think you do, mate. I don't think you do. If you watch Sky Television, or GB News, which is a major broadcaster, established broadcaster, if you watch that live on YouTube, I think then technically you may need a license. I'm not saying you should, but this is live now. I'm not a mainstream broadcaster. I'm just some some bloody former alcoholic who's doing a bit of late night waffling. Terry Jones, 2 Ronnie's worth of license fee alone. Okay. Lewis C. BBC is the best in the world. Impartial news, unlike the rest of the right-wing media. Maybe scrap the license and fund out of general taxation. Okay. Okay. Who's that? You monks, don't pay license fee. I pay for Lisa Dale's webcam shows from the Gambia instead. Okay, so the consensus is that the BBC is out of date. We shouldn't pay the license. It's just absurd in this day and age that you can be fined or worse for not paying a license fee. It's just so old. Get rid of it. Get rid of the BBC. I don't even watch. Yeah, let me see. Let's see. Bales. BBC brought us Neighbours, Carly, and with any. Well, I didn't like Neighbours, but Carly, no, Jesus Christ, hot. That's my kind of woman. Love her. Yeah, let's see. Tings, a dickhead called and asked for my license, and he said it's 5 years out of date. I said, sure, so is your programs. Okay, good for you anyway, mate. Okay, Mark Holman. 2 Ronnie's Coldest sketch on YouTube. I don't recall that one, funny enough, but I will check that one out. Absolutely. Thanks for that super chat anyway, mate. Cheers for that. Capo 17, Jacob Rees-Mogg wants the license banned. Good for him. Eason, man, the reason for the BBC is in case they'd ever do a military coup. One of the 5 elements is control the media. So they would shut everything down except the state-owned BBC and take control of that. Okay, well, that's interesting. That's nice to hear from you, mate, anyway. Ty Billy, but all the old TV series would probably not be aired these days, like Love Thy Neighbour, Rise and Damp, and Alf Garner. And of those 3, 2 of those were ITV, weren't they? So, yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's see. Paul Hoskins, the young ones were good. The young ones were good. Okay, yeah, they were pretty good. What's that? Yogi Bear, 4 Candles, the best of the 2 Ronnies. It was brilliant sketch, that one, 4 Candles. But Ronnie Barker later admitted that it has a bit of an obscure ending, that sketch. And if he was to redo that sketch again, he would have come up with a better ending. And the ending he said he would have given it was that, Ronnie Corbett gets so frustrated, he just calls his wife and says, "You deal with this customer." And his wife comes down, who was a buxom blonde. And this is what Ronnie Barker said he would rewrite the sketch of 4 Candles. And this buxom blonde would come down and take Ronnie Barker's list and say, right, sir, exactly what size of knockers would you like? Okay, that's what Ronnie Barker would have rewritten the sketch. Gaz, so do I. Okay, so yeah, Gemini Star. We leave this as the final one. Gemini Star. The BBC had clout in the 60s and 70s. Not now, though. Okay, fair enough. Absolutely, I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Okay, so let's see. We've done that one anyway. So how about another one? And this is another big question. Okay, and this. With regards to Lineker, we don't want to go into too because it's saturated in the news. Lineker, whatever do we think of all that claptrap? It's all a big farce. But Lineker is clearly a lefty. He's clearly regarded as a lefty. So let's see. Okay, so Where's the question mark? It's there anyway. Okay. Okay. So anyway, let's get rid of that one first. Let's get rid of that one. Okay. We've done that one. Hide that one. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So this is the popular word lefty. Now, this word has only become popular in the last few years because I'd never really. I know that left wing is obviously socialist, right wing is conservatives and all this. But this word lefty, a lot of people, it's popular to use this word lefty. He's a bit of a lefty. Somebody actually described me, looked at me on YouTube and said he looks like a bit of a lefty. I don't know where the hell he got that from. I'm clearly not. I mean, is it the way that I dress or something? I mean, the fact that I'm often unshaven, is that what lefties are? The lefties dressing us? I'm certainly anything but a lefty. Definitely not. But I mean, really, I don't know personally anyone who admits to being a lefty. Being a lefty. In fact, it is often, to describe someone a lefty is often a put down. It's a put down in this day and age, because we all know that migrants are coming into this country, they're flooding there, taking the Michael out of us, taking our benefits, staying in expensive hotels which could be put to better use. We're being all walked over by these bloody illegal aliens, right? And basically, about 90% of the people out there, I'm pretty sure, would say it's terrible. Only a tiny minority would say let them in. You know what I mean? But anyway, as for this word lefty, it's become such a common word now, and I'm kind of wondering, is being called lefty an insult? Is it going to become so virulent, this word, that people are going to be using it to slag each other down in an argument? Is that what they're going to do? Let's just have a little look at this. Let's see. Okay, where are we now? Okay, let's see. Ed Sweeney, whatever. Yeah, it's very much Australian. It's very much Australian. I've never thought that before. Cy London, Liverpool is a very lefty city. But this is the bizarre thing. I mean, Liverpool is traditionally a working class city, as a lot of them are up north. Working class. But there's a contradiction here, isn't it? Because working class Labour voters were obviously left wing. But in the olden days, if there was loads of immigrants flooding into this country, those left-wing people, do you think that they would welcome them? So I let them come and stay in hotels near us, and bring all these different cultures in with their wacky religions, and let them. No bloody working class people where I come from would have stood for that. I mean, being a lefty, a left wing, does not mean that you're going to allow bloody immigrants to come in and take the piss out of us left, right, and centre. So there's a massive contradiction there, isn't it? Let's see. Okay. David Cohn, woke, social justice warriors, diversity, inclusion. It's all BS. I agree with you there, mate. Michael Janice, being the lefty, okay. Okay, you monks, leftist describes centrist or centre-right as far right. It's beyond parity. I'd say there's a simple word for it. It's bollocks. Who's this? Lewis say it's the accent. 90% of Liverpudlians are lefties. Well, yeah, but if they're lefties, yeah, but I'm pretty sure that 90% of Liverpudlians would not want loads of dinghy divers coming and staying in hotels near them. So, being a lefty, does this mean that if the definition of being a lefty means that you want loads of bloody illegal immigrants wreaking havoc? There's a massive contradiction there. I think it's all become a bit of a farce. David Coleman, Eddie, you working class? Absolutely. I come from a working class background. Absolutely. Yeah. Capo 17. Keir Starmer was accused of being a lefty lawyer at PM's questions last week. I mean, does anybody actually like being called a lefty? If you are of a left wing, Would you take offense at being called a lefty? It's going to get to the stage. This word is going about so much in recent times. It's going to get to the stage, and some people, when you're having an argument with people, and the tempers are heated, and you're slagging each other down, you're shouting names at each other. It's going to be the trendy thing to call someone a lefty. Two people are having an argument. You bastard! You piece of shit! You lefty! Yeah, it's going to get to that stage, isn't it? It's all become an absolute farce. Well, I'm not a lefty. Somebody looked at me and said he looks like a lefty. Well, I may look like a lefty, but I'm clearly bloody not one. So much for them anyway, whoever said that. Let's see. Brian Street. Let's see. David Coleman, only rich people are on the left now. Only rich people on the left, are they? You're quite sure about that? Only rich people on the left. And would they want all of these immigrants staying in a house next door to them? They may say that they want it, but let's just say let's see bloody Gary Lineker. I know he says that he's had them in his house, and we should be we should show humanity and invite them all in. If he was living in the street full of them, it'd be a different story, wouldn't it? Brian Street, I think you're right. Okay. Let's see. David Coleman, Champagne Socialists are called. Okay. Brian Street, but I'm in the middle. Oh, good for you, anyway. Good for you. David Coleman, better right than left. Well, I come from a working class background, but these days, I support a lot more right wing politics than I do left wing, and I don't care who knows it. Let me see now. Let's see. Kippo Macmac. This new left wing is not the left wing politics as yesterday. It's all. I mean, it's all become a farce. Yeah, it's all become a bloody farce. Yeah, Stephen Sutty, lefty sounds like a clever word invented by a right wing spin doctor. Okay, I'll give you that one. Yeah. Let's see, Wanderer, Conservatives are lefties now. They're letting immigrants stop and all that. Well, they're quite divided. There's probably still a lot of people in the Conservative Party who, say we should let all the immigrants in and do this, that, and the other. I mean, as for the current crop of the cabinet, Ricky Wishy-Washy and Suella Braverman, who say we're really, I know the ones before said they were going to do something, but they didn't really do anything to stop the illegal immigrants. But we're really going to do something now. I'll believe it when I see it, because we all know that you've got this Human Rights Act, which is signed in, I think, about 1951, which Europe's going to pull out the hat. And every time we try and do something to stop the illegal immigrants, and it's getting worse and worse and worse, then they're going to pull this out of the hat, this Human Rights Act, I think. And I still think, it's the tip of the iceberg, really, because the biggest problem facing the world is that the population is just booming out of proportion. People are having kids in third world countries when they can't afford to feed or look after them. And then 20 years later, these same kids are coming across the bloody channel expecting us to look after them. It's not going to get any better. Let me see. Alistair Taylor, lefties are usually just good do-gooders who want to help people who they perceive as hard done by, but are happy for the ordinary person to suffer. Yeah, exactly. Let them all flood into show a bit of heart, flood them into the country, but they can go and live next door to you, not me. Yeah, exactly. Let's see, Yoz Travels. The government's been buying houses in Liverpool and converting them to 5-bedroom HMOs and putting immigrants in there, being uproar about them. Absolutely. So being a lefty, I come from a left-wing city background, but believe me, they are the last people that I know who would want loads of illegal aliens, living in the street next door to them. So there's all kinds of confusion going on about this. It's all got very confused. David Coleman, it is war now. We need to save our countries from the crazy left wing. Look at Canada, where I live. Yeah, like you said a moment ago, people are having people. I mean, I've said it before, but all of these 20-year-olds, illegal immigrants who are coming across the channel, they were born 20 years ago into families and in countries which couldn't afford to look after them. And so, in other words, they shouldn't have been born in the first place. And now they're coming across the channel and expecting us to look after them. Or, in the case of the Albanians, they think we're mugs, and they can start whatever they want to start over there. Let's say humongous. I even know socialist lefty means mates who have secretly admit to me that they're tired of a lot of the wokeness, but too scared to admit it in public. What are these scared of? Speak your mind. Harold Betterson, nice to hear from you. Okay, let me see. Cy London, Lyrica will never be affected by illegal immigration. Of course he bloody won't. He lives in a rich neighbourhood. Okay, so anyway, we've waffled on a little bit. Yeah, somebody, we've got a bit. Is he a troll here? Is he? So we may as well put him on. We may as well put him on. I know he's a troll. He's a knobhead, and he's got nothing better to do. Andrew McIver, immigrants just want a better life, the same way you go to Thailand for 6 months a year. I'm sure some there are sick of you. Excuse me, Andrew. I have never, ever, ever, when I go to Thailand, expected them to pay for my lifestyle. I've taken money out there and I pay for my own lifestyle. But you're obviously not clever enough to realize this. Okay? Yeah, Cy London. Ed takes money to Cy. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Eastern man. The working class never left the Labour Party. The Labour Party left the working class and was hijacked by the champagne socialists. Okay. Good stuff. Who's that? Repair Shop. Brilliant stream. Okay, thank you. Yeah, yours travels. Andrew McCabe, a big difference is Eddie and most of us use our lots of money in Thailand's economy. Exactly. Whatever. Repair shop. I had my tools stolen by Romanians. Oh well. Can't comment on that, mate. I met a few. I met a few very, very nice Romanians too. Very, very nice. Okay. Let me see. Okay, let's see. Brentel, good day, Eddie. I don't even have a TV YouTube. I don't even have a TV. YouTube has all I need. Good for you, mate, anyway. Yeah, whatever. David Coleman, 100% yes. We bring all the money into Thailand. They cannot live without us. Okay. So fair enough. Okay, we've spoke our mind about that one anyway. So it's being called a lefty an insult. Well, I was called a lefty by somebody who looked at me and said he looks like a lefty, and that's how bloody stupid. What does a lefty look like? Some unintelligent people around anyway. So I'll tell you what. This is Monday evening anyway. It's better than watching more bloody news reports about Gary Lineker and all that crap. So let's just have a little teensy-weensy look at this. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so anyway, we've been on for an hour and 9 minutes. Okay, an hour and 10 minutes. So it's the return of an old favourite. Squeaky door time. Back in a minute. Yo, okay. Okay, where are we now? Where are we? Okay, so now I know I said that I've given up the booze. I've been really, really good. No, the beer, been really, really good. But this here is this is nice bit of whiskey with a Schweppes, you know who. And that's nice. That's nice. That is okay. That's going down well. That is going down well. Tasty. Like it. Okay, anyway, where are we now? Let me see. Okay, Kevin Kevin Talentire. Thank you for that super chat, Kevin. I hope you're well, Eddie. Here's a fiver for some WD-40 for the door. Okay, thanks for that, mate. Anyway, cheers for that. Thai Billy Boy sounds like a rum coming up. No, it's a little bit of whiskey. David Cohen, what about all the sick buffalo in Thailand? We pay for them all to go to the vet and get well. Absolutely. Okay, so what are we going to do now? So this is Monday evening. Like I say, on the Steady Eddie live channel, we can make something of this. There'll be regular live streams, 10 p.m. UK time, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I'd like to do 4 days in a week, but I think, you know, that'll be a bit of a strain. But I'm really, really thrilled that you guys have turned up tonight. I really, really, really am. A little bit rough around the edges now, but we'll get our act together and we'll start polishing the show up. But like I've said before, for the channel to grow, you really need to produce some video. So that is what I'm working on now, to try and get some videos as well as the live streams anyway. So we talked about some serious stuff tonight. We've had a nice little bit of banter. So I think I'll finish off this one on a few film reviews. And when I was traveling for 4 months, I never actually watched Netflix once or Amazon, because I was always editing movies on my laptop or obviously doing other things when I was traveling around. But since I come back, I've been watching some good movies on Netflix. And one of the ones that I've been watching, and it won an Oscar last night, is this one, All Quiet on the Western Front. Now, this is a movie. It's a 2.5-hour movie. It's a remake of the classic 1930s war film, one of the great classics. All Quiet on the Western Front, I think it was the most successful German novel of all time. I think I'm right in saying that. It's been remade before, but this is a modern remake on Netflix, and it's got some great reviews. And I believe last night at the Oscars, it won the best foreign language film, or the best, foreign movie. I think it's a German film. But so anyway, what is it all about? So what is all this modern remake of All Quiet on the Western Front any good? Seamus Doherty says great movie. Okay. Humongous says been meaning to watch that. Now I watch it. If you're going to watch a film like this, you can't just casually watch it. You need to sit down intent. It's 2.5 hours. It's a very, very serious subject, and obviously, so you need to really focus on a movie like this. But is it any good? Is it any good? I mean, the problem with remakes is that it's you tend to judge them against the original. And that movie, which I think it might have even been 1930, it's a hell of an old movie. That's almost 100 years ago. It is a classic movie. I mean, this is a modern remake, and obviously it's going to be, it has all the brutality, and it can show the violence and brutality of war. Basically, what it is, it's a war story told from a German viewpoint in the First World War. It starts off with a bunch of young college men who were sent to war against France during the First World War, and they are full of enthusiasm. It's all the jingoism and all that kind of stuff. The loudmouth general is really whipping them up, and they want to get out to war. But then they see the futility and the brutality and the violence and the horrors of war, and their attitudes change towards it. So is this movie any good, and does it add anything to war movies in general. Let's just see what anyone. Let me see. Carefully says it's a fantastic film. Yours Travel says we got not a huge fan of war movies. I'm not really, but if they're done really well, like Saving Private Ryan, I've watched that movie a few times, and it is magnificent. It is magnificent. Let's see. Okay, it's magnificent. So, All Quiet on the Western Front, this modern remake, is it any good? Well, I must admit that I personally found it a little bit disappointing. It actually looks more like a TV production than a full-scale movie. Don't forget, TV productions in this day and age can be quite spectacular. You look at something like Game of Thrones or other TV productions; they can be absolutely, phenomenal productions. This looked like a fairly it looked like a TV production, and it takes a bit of getting into it. It really takes a bit of getting. I think one of the problems with it is that the characters weren't fully developed. It didn't really show anything of the background or the humanity of it, and it was really a war film by numbers. It was really a remake. It was not the most imaginative war film that I've ever seen, and I don't think in terms of war movies that it really added anything. I don't think it added anything that we hadn't seen before. If you want to see a war movie that speaks volumes about war, then watch Saving Private Ryan, which is a far more classy movie. This was All Quiet on the Western Front. If you watch it on Netflix, watch it for 2.5 hours. But I wasn't massively impressed. I didn't think the characters were fully developed, really. Let's see. Humongous. Films this year, The Banshees version. Undecided, but okay, absolutely loved it. Okay. So anyway, so that's All Quiet on the Western Front. It's it's All Quiet on the Western Front. You can see it on Netflix. If you're going to watch it, especially if you like war movies, watch it by all means. But I was a little bit disappointed. I did it, the way the film was made. I felt it should be gripping, really gripping and enthralling. But it didn't quite do it for me. But give it a go anyway. You may like it more than I liked it. The phone's nice to hear from you. Mr. Had peanut butter. Yippee. Okay. Be careful. That's dreadful heart attacks. That was Elvis's favourite, wasn't it? Seamus Doherty. Personally, I don't like Saving Private Ryan. I rather Platoon. Well, I think both of them were marvellous movies. David Coleman, I never watched the Oscars, wasted time. All Hollywood left. Yeah, well, I don't know about being left wing, but it has become a bit BS. But anyway, what else is on Netflix? A couple of movies I've watched in the last week. That's tasty, that is. That's whiskey with Schweppes. A little bit of ice. That's nice, that. I can do with that. Okay, so there's two movies here from the same, basically from the same place. And one of the movies, which is the big Netflix production that has been coming. I don't know if it's a Netflix production. It may be around the cinemas, but the one that's been a big hit on Netflix in recent months is this one, Glass Onion. Okay, now let me tell you, this movie, Glass Onion, it features Daniel Craig, the former James Bond, as a sort of Agatha Christie kind of detective. Oh my God, he takes a bit of getting used to. With a southern accent, you think, oh my God, man, you cannot be serious. He's a real bit of a comic book character. But anyway, this film, Glass Onion, is a sequel to a film called Knives Out, which I'm going to discuss in a moment. Is Glass Onion any good? Well, I watched this film Glass Onion the other night because a lot of people say it's really good, and also it has a Greek island backdrop, which I found kind of irresistible. Yeah, so I watched this film Glass Onion, and basically it's about this detective something Blank, Benny Blank or something like that, played by Daniel Craig with his over-the-top Southern American accent. It's absolutely, he's a bit absurd, you know, he takes a bit of getting used to. Now, it's got a lot of glamorous characters and it's set in the Greek islands. And basically this rich person, you know, invites all these people to his island. And it's kind of a modern day Agatha Christie thing. But now it's watchable. Okay, it's watchable and it's sunny. And I think it can best be described as brain dead entertainment. It's one of those movies where you don't really care who gets murdered or what. It's a bit of a farce, really. But I watched it for a couple of hours and it's kind of entertaining in a sort of brain dead way. Who gets murdered and who's guilty? Watch the movie and do you care? Do you care who gets murdered? I don't care of anyone. It's a bit banal, this movie. But the reason I watched it is because it got good reviews. But anyway, I'm going to skip that one now anyway. And I'm going to go back to the first movie, which is called Knives Out. That film, Glass Onion, is a sequel to this one. Now, this movie, I watched about a year or so ago. Well, I didn't really watch it. I actually switched it off. I switched it off after about 40 minutes because I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into this movie. But this is how strange things can be. I watched that movie, Glass Onion, the other night, and I thought it's a bit of brain dead entertainment. It's silly, but it's watchable. Okay. And then after I watched it, I thought, what the hell? You know, I checked on Rotten Tomatoes, and this original film, Knives Out, got really, really good reviews. I thought, well, go back again and watch that one again. So last night, I did watch this one, Knives Out, which I switched off the first time I watched it. And I thought, I'll give it a go. But before I do that, I'll just tell you what people are saying anyway. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Daniel Craig. Yeah, Capo says Daniel Craig had to exaggerate the character dissociate from James Bond. Okay. Mr. says watchable. Okay. Okay. So. Anyway, I switched this. I switched this movie off when I tried to watch it a year ago because I couldn't get into it. And then I seen the sequel, Glass Onion, come along. I watched the sequel, Glass Onion, because all the reviews were good, and I thought it was a bit of brain-dead entertainment. But I thought I may as well just go back and give this another go. And do you know what? Do you really, really, really know what? This surprised me. I actually like this movie. I actually like this film, Knives Out. The movie that I switched off the first time I watched it, or tried to watch it. I actually did get into it this time. I actually think it's a very, very good movie. Basically, what it's about, it's got a good cast. There's Christopher Plummer in there as a millionaire. Christopher Plummer is a millionaire who gets bumped off, and it's a whodunit. Daniel Craig, with his ridiculous over-the-top accent, comes along again. And basically, the setting of this movie is really, really pleasant. It's in a sort of gothic house in there. Somewhere in America anyway. But it's a big gothic house. It's a lovely, lovely Agatha Christie style setting. And I actually found I could actually watch this movie. It's basically figuring out who's bumped him off. You know, who stands to inherit his fortune. Jamie Lee Curtis is in there. Chris Evans is in there. What's his name? Don Johnson. So there's quite a few well-known actors in there. But I actually found that this movie is actually quite good. I got into it and took a genuine interest in this movie. In fact, it's far better than the Glass Onion one. Knives Out, if you like murder mysteries, this is actually really, really entertaining. I wouldn't, in fact, it's so entertaining. I wouldn't actually describe this one as brain dead entertainment. I described the second one, Glass Onion, as brain dead entertainment. But this one, Knives Out, is actually a fine movie. It's actually a fine movie, and I did enjoy it watching it. So, Mr. Watchable, David Coleman, Jesus said, why are you watching these terrible movies? Well, you don't know they're terrible until you watch them. You know what I mean? So you've got to give it a chance, haven't you? Kippo Macwax, King Kong will never get beaten. Okay. Let's see. Isle of Sackton, Knives Out is better than the sequel. Yeah, I did genuinely, I genuinely liked it. I switched it off the first time I tried to watch it, but I genuinely liked this movie the second time that I seen it. Capo 17, I only give any film the first 10 minutes. If it's no good, I'm good. Well, I'd give it more than 10 minutes because I've seen lots of movies which have been very, very slow in the first 10 minutes, or even slow in the first half, but then they picked up and that kind of thing, and they're being really, really good. So anyway, Kipax, nice to hear from you, Kipax. Nice to hear from you. Let's see. Kipax and chat, what's good? Okay. Well, yeah, it's been a good little stream. We're going to finish soon, Kipax, but it's nice to hear from you anyway. Yoz Travels. There's a new Luther movie out on Netflix. Yes, I do want to see that because I've heard sort of mixed reviews about it. Mixed reviews. But I love the TV series, which came out about 10 years ago, a bit more than 10 years ago now. And what's his name? Idris Elba, very, very charismatic. The TV series was terrific. Idris Elba, very charismatic actor. And yeah, I do want to see that one. I really, really do. The reviews are a bit mixed, but But anyway, of these three movies, All Quiet on the Western Front, sit down when you're in somber mood and watch that one. But I felt it was a little bit disappointing. Glass Onion, watch it, simply because it's passes time and it's a bit of brain dead entertainment. But this movie, Knives Out, absolutely, this is a good movie. It really, really is a good movie, and I really, really did enjoy it this time. So that's of the three, I would definitely recommend that one. Let me see. Let's see. Okay. Brian, see, that film reminds me of the Thai bar girl I was with. Okay, I've touched that one, Brian. David Cohen. I give up on you and your movies, Eddie. Brain dead. Okay, have a nice day. Let's see. Kippo Macmax, The Wire was the best he's been in so far. Who are you talking about? Are you talking about Daniel Craig or Idris Elba there? You Mongus, what did you think of El Camino, Breaking Bad film? Thought it was really boring. Shame, loved this. Oh, no, do you know what? I've never got round to seeing that. I have not got round to seeing that film. I've heard about it, and I've also heard, you're not the first one to tell me that it's a bit disappointing, but maybe I'll watch that sometime. I've never got round to seeing it, simply because I haven't heard good reviews of it. Yours Travel says, you Monks, I agree, it was a letdown. Yeah, not heard good reviews about that. Let's see. David Coleman, did you really call Don Johnson an actor? He's not bad. He's not a bad actor. He's not a bad actor. He's not really that bad. And neither is this whiskey and Schweppes. That's okay. In case you just joined, I've gone almost basically. I've given up the beer, and I'm not entertaining wine. So it's a start anyway. It's a start. I'm still drinking a bit of alcohol, bit of rum, bit of whiskey, but not too much. This is very, very late at night stuff. You've got to drink something. So I've come a long way anyway. So anyway, yours travels. Let me see. Where are we now? Yours travels. No, Idris was good in The Wire, but I don't think it's your type of TV show. I've heard. Have you seen that? Kippo Macmac, did you bring any Thai spirits back? No. Let's see. Capo 17. It was the next James Bond. Oh, God knows. I'm fed up of hearing about that. Just get on with it and make the movies. David Coleman, I'm watching GB News. Okay. Anyway, on that note, anyway, I'm going to say good night. We've done 1.5 hours. I'm going to be doing 3 live streams a week on this channel, the Steady Eddie Live channel. You may as well tune in at 10 o'clock because Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. What the hell's going on there? And there are lots of questions. There are a lot of things that we can talk about. There's a lot of things happening in the world. We can talk about a lot of things in the world, and it's interactive. Should we get some guests on? Should we get some guests on here? Now, sometimes we get guests on, but it doesn't always go down well. Some people, because when I have guests on, I don't pay much attention to the chat, and some people don't really like that so much. But anyway, I'm going to say goodnight. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock. We've had a cut. We've discussed a few things tonight. We had a few movie reviews. Yeah, you know, the guys here, we have people in the chat. It's a great little community. It can grow bigger. And anyway, somebody said something about a black lesbian. Okay, let's see. Okay, Seamus Doherty, no, screw the guest. We like you. Okay, thank you for that. Alison Taylor, thanks, mate. Enjoyed the chat. Yogi Bear, good night, Ed. Nice to see you back here. Enjoy the screen. Catch you tomorrow night. David, get me on, Ed. Okay, we'll sort something out sometime. We will sort something out. Okay. Anyway, thanks for coming along, guys. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Okay. I'm going to have a spicy curry pot noodle. Good night. Thank you. God bless you. And as Dave Allen would say, good night, and may your God go with you. Cheers.